Our next guest is the leading career receiver on the Notre Dame football team. Senior captain Torii Hunter Jr. has caught 54 passes for 699 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is also a member of the Notre Dame baseball team, was drafted in this year's Major League Baseball draft by the Los Angeles Angels, and is the son of former Major League star outfielder Torii Hunter. Off the field, Torii is studying information technology management in the Mendoza College of Business. We are pleased Torii has taken some time out of getting ready for Saturday's game at North Carolina State to visit with us today. So that means we have a defensive captain and an offensive captain here heading into a big game. Do you guys cross lines, defense, offenses, leadership guys, and talk about what you need to do heading into a game?
I think I would speak for both of us that, we try to be that echo, that coach, talks about for that week, that Monday morning or something like that, whenever we have our meeting. And we just try to echo that throughout the week and instill it in our guys in our position groups, and just make sure that the message is clear for that week, and we know what we need to work on, and we just relay that message. And I think he'll say the same thing.
Yeah, also just the time that we get to compete against each other, I think is important. Sometimes, some of the younger guys can, frown upon those periods because they're tough. You're going against covering Torii instead of a scout guy, which may be a little bit easier. So sometimes guys shy away from that, but those are important periods for us. So I think as leaders, we try to put an emphasis on those periods just to make sure that, we're pushing those times. What
is the message for this week?
I would just say that, we need to be more consistent, and we need to just keep continuing to pay attention to the details. And, I think if we do that, we can be more consistent as an offense on our side of the ball for sure. And just making sure that we protect it for sure because, the rain that's coming supposedly.
Well, it's amazing, quite honestly, because when you looked at this football team, both the secondary and the receivers were very young. But quite honestly, the receivers were younger than the secondary was. And you guys have just stepped up. You're having a remarkable year. You're on pace. If you keep this up, you could be the highest scoring football team in Notre Dame history. And I don't think that would have been a fair expectation considering the youth that you had. I mean, the experience was at running back, and it's clear other teams have decided they wanted to stop you from running the ball and basically daring you to throw, which apparently is a mistake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
how have you helped the younger guys come along? Like Equinemius St. Brown is just having a fantastic year, but he's not the only one. Yeah. Everybody stepped. Chase Claypool made that spectacular catch. It seems that every time you go to a guy, he comes through.
Yeah. So I think we have, the same amount of playmakers, if not more playmakers this year than we did last year, and it was just a matter of having them understand the offense and what's going on, and not having them think so much. I think once you start, stop thinking, you're able to go out there and play your game and just let the athletic ability shine and go do what you've been doing since high school. And, it's just getting that comfortability level of being out there, and that comes with experience. And, getting those guys a lot of reps during camp, and then, after the first couple games, they start getting this tremendous confidence, and then they just go out there and play, and they know that they can hang, and, they know that they belong. And, the guys can go out there and make plays. Man, we got the same – I think we have the same amount, if not more, playmakers this year than we did last year. And it's starting to show, man, and they can make plays for sure.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is, Torii was catching a bunch of heat and pressure in the beginning of the year just to push these guys and, get them right with their alignments and what route they're running. If they ran the wrong thing, Torii, what's going on? You get him. So I think it's funny that, that response came from you just because that's how you play. You have a chill confidence, and I've seen that in a lot of our receivers now. They just go out there, they're loose, they're ready to play, and I think that comes from our vet right here. So
there's so much parity in college football today, and I knew the Texas game was going to be tough, but I imagine these young guys got even more respect for you because you made one of the great catches that I've seen for a touchdown before you got targeted and they didn't call it and you lost it. But, I mean, the toughness to stand in there and not flinch because you knew it was coming. And, I mean, stuff happens. But I think the whole season's different if the right call's made. There's nothing we can do about that at this point. But to have that kind of toughness, going over the middle when you know you're going to get crunched, and to concentrate and make that catch, and if you hadn't been knocked probably unconscious.
Yeah,
you would have held on to the ball. How do you get that tough? I don't think people understand it's a physical game, and the defenders, you guys are always hitting everybody, but you're the hitters. You're the hittees. Mm-hmm. You know it's going to hurt, and you've got to completely block that out. I think that's an amazing skill. There's no way the average person could do that.
Yeah. I think it's just a mentality that you have, and it's also just being kind of selfless at that point. You're like, I got to make this play for the team, and they're counting on me to make this play. I know the ball's going to come to me, and whatever happens. I know I got to go up and catch this ball though. So I think that's one of the things that kind of makes me fearless is just not wanting to let my teammates down, and just knowing that I got to make the play for the team. So if you can become that selfless and just kind of let yourself go and throw yourself out there, then I think anybody can do it. So
selfless was not the problem for me. Even if I was going to get hit, I still had trouble catching the ball. So
you decided after you got that special teams experience, and you were a good defender in high school too.
Yeah,
you were known for being the receiver, but you were a good defender. But you went and asked for this switch to defense.
Oh yeah, I asked. But I was competing with guys like this. Can't run like him.
At your linebacker position now in practice, when the ones are in the ones, do you ever get matched up with him in coverage when he comes over the middle?
Yeah, a little bit in the slot, especially in the red zone. So on Thursdays and Thursdays, right?
Yeah,
we're matched up together for a couple reps.
All right, guys. Who has the upper hand when that happens?
They're usually in the right defense.
Right defense.
In other words, they know the play that's coming. They're saying they cheat a little bit because they know what's coming.
They get the pencil last. That's all I'm gonna say.
But when you talk about the red zone, last year the red zone was a bit of an issue, but you guys have been really good in the red zone this year. What's changed?
I just think the emphasis that they've put on it, and the just being comfortable in those situations. Over the spring and camp, they've really stressed the red zone and how important it is to make plays down there and put points on the board because that's just the money area. That's where you make your money at in the red zone. So they've just stressed the importance of it, and we've gotten a lot of reps at it, and I think people are comfortable with it.
I'll give out the little secret. We taped this show on Wednesday night. So right now, we don't know where the hurricane's going. But it looks like it may get to Carolina about the time you guys do. So you could be playing in wind and rain.
We're bringing the storm.
Like Clemson. And last year when that happened, you had a pretty good game. Supposedly, you're not supposed to be able to catch the football in those conditions, but you did just fine.
Yeah, I had a pretty decent game. I think I had 5 or 6 catches that game. But, yeah, it's definitely tough. It takes a lot more concentration and, just paying attention to that football, man, and just making sure you catch it. It's definitely tough, though.
You still wearing the same gloves?
No. We have these
the leather ones,
yeah,
right?
the leather gloves.
And so when they get wet, they get stickier?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think they get stickier. I don't know if they even work.
Some guys just go bare hands so they can actually
Did you wear gloves last year or did you go bare hands?
I did. I wore the leather gloves
or whatever.
But I might try bare hands if it gets too wet.
All right, we got a defensive player here, although he's not a secondary guy. So do you think when it's pouring rain and the field's wet, do you have the advantage because you know where you're going and the defender doesn't? Or does the defender have the advantage because he can chuck you or bump you and knock you over? Who has the advantage in wet conditions? Yeah.
I would say
the receivers.
Yeah, I would say the receivers.
Thank you.
It's definitely tougher, but as far as like finishing the catch and stuff like that, it's definitely tough on the receiver. But as far as trying to get open or running a route, they're reacting. So if they don't have their foot in the right spot when they're reacting to a move or a break or a cut,
on the ground.
Yeah, they're kind of on the ground, and yeah, it's kind of tough for them. So,
all right, the guy who is throwing you the football, and I think people forget this as well. Notre Dame has a tradition of putting academics first, so we always list you by your academic class and not necessarily your eligibility class. He's really in the beginning of his second year as a starting quarterback, and what he's done in the last year has been amazing. On Saturday, he recorded the highest passing yardage total in Notre Dame history in a win. There were 2 guys ahead of him, Joe Theismann and Brady Quinn, but those were both in losses.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just what he has done so quickly, what is it like to catch the balls from Kaiser as a receiver? How does he help you do your job?
I think he does a great job of, putting us in great situations for us to be successful as receivers. If he knows it's not a look that's going to be good for us, he'll get us out of that play and put us in a better position to make a play. And I think that's one of the things he does really well that helps us out and also helps the offense as a whole. And that's why he's has so much success. He's very smart. He knows what's going on, and he knows how to put us in the right position.
Going to be quite an atmosphere there this weekend, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's never played at NC State before, and it just happens to be the 50th anniversary of the opening of their stadium.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be wearing throwback. I mean, that's my – I've been here so long, it's like, that figures. I mean, it's always something special when you get in there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a circus atmosphere. But this team in particular – do you guys really feed off the energy of an opposing stadium? I mean, the noise can be a problem on offense, but is it ever intimidating to you, or are you guys like, come on, bring it on, helps us play?
Oh, I love being – like, that's – me personally, it's my dream to be booed at, like, a game. Like, me personally, I want to be booed.
Goal.
I want to be booed, like, at any time I step on the field, like, from an opposing team. Because that means you're doing something right. And when you got haters, that means you're doing something right. So, I definitely feed off that energy, and I love it. I love being booed and the crowds yelling at you and talking trash. So I'm looking forward to it.
No doubt. I got to agree. I mean, it's fun when you have the fans into it, even when they're not your fans, and you can kind of take that opportunity to band together with your teammates, So it's like, hey, it's us against them. Like, let's go shut them up. You know? So I think that does, make it more fun.
So did you guys sense the air coming out of the building last year at Virginia when you score that last touchdown? That famous photo of the kid who looks like a rubber doll just hanging over the thing.
Yeah. You definitely felt like it was just us, like, screaming. It was dead silent. It was dead silent, and it was just the sideline screaming.
All the people that were on the hill just all of a sudden vanished.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a blast.
The thing, though, playing for Notre Dame, you guys never get to sneak up on anybody. You never get a team that comes out flat against you or doesn't play up to their capability. You usually get guys that do things they may never have done before. Does that become fatiguing, or does that make the Notre Dame experience even better when you know that it's literally a bowl game for virtually everybody you play?
Yeah, I think that makes the Notre Dame experience, like, incredible, because it's like you're getting everybody's best, and that kind of forces you to step to or reach a level that you've never gone to yourself, and it just continues to push you, as a player. And I think that, getting that here is definitely great for your future if you plan on playing at another level, at a higher level. I definitely think it's great to have that experience to get everybody's best every week.
Now, this show airs in our radio affiliates on Saturday, so let's give them a little preview of what you're going to have to face. People know that NC State likes to throw the ball around, and they run it really well, too. They're 21st in total offense, but what a lot of people may not know is they're also 21st in total defense. Now, it's still early in the season. It's apples and oranges, but the bottom line is you've got a defense that's going to be able to challenge you. What have you seen on video as you prepare to take them on?
I've seen that they're pretty good. Their backfield, their DBs are pretty good. They play a lot of press coverage, and they're good with their hands. They're good in transition, so they're going to be really, really good. And they have a good D-line. They have a pretty big D-line, and they get some pretty good push up there. So they're probably going to try to test us outside and see what we can do, and probably try to stop the run and see what we can do outside. So.
Torii, always a pleasure to speak with you. And I think, James, if you can't make it, we could shift. He could be like the backup captain for the Jack Swarbrick show. What do you think?
Hey, we could throw him in here.
Hey, throw me in every once in a while.
Guys, that was enjoyable. Thank you very much. When we come back, we will chat with the NCAA Championship men's soccer coach here at Notre Dame, the one and only Bobby Clark.
We represent the greatest university in the world. Let's carry that pride tonight onto this field, and let's play for Notre Dame, and let's play for Our Lady. That's how we're playing today. what next week holds or the week after and 3 weeks down the road. But tonight, that's how we're playing this football game.